This is one of the toughest race weekends I've ever had, and it all started off so well but fell apart so quickly, and by something that was completely out of my control.
Who won? Yeah, I hear any complaints? Bullshit.
Today I'm racing in the VHKC Championship here at Stony Creek in round 3. This championship is extremely competitive with the fastest drivers all over Victoria.
Oh, I died.
With this weekend's structure starting off with a qualifying, then a reverse grid layout, then a feature race. With qualifying just complete, I qualified second overall, losing out by half a tenth to my best friend. But I started to get concerned as we were ready to exit the pits, as my kart was already having issues before even being on track. So let's rewind a little bit.
It cut out. Turn off. Yeah.
And just when I thought we were in the clear and we're leaving the pits to start this race, it happens again.
Oh, it died again! No! It died again! It got out again! It keeps cutting out.
Now, because of the reverse grid layout starting in second last, and with a kart that's already not giving me high hopes, this is definitely not looking good. And immediately when I'm trying to get some temp into my tyres, the kart almost stalls again. So now all I can do on the formation lap of this race about to start is just try and keep my revs up, just to make sure that I can actually start this race with a kart that's actually on.
It's green!
With the race now underway, you can immediately see the power difference, and it's actually a joke at this point. And the only chance I was going to get any overtakes at all were if other drivers crashed or if they were battling really hard. Throughout this race, I really had to remind myself that this was just the reverse grid layout with less points available, and the feature was yet to come. Going down the back straight of the first lap, you can see me get absolutely gapped by my best friend. And I was pretty certain I wasn't improving out of last place.
This thing has no power! Come on!
But even with this extremely slow kart on the straights, I was able to make an overtake through the corners, and luckily make it stick going up to the back straight. But luckily for me, two drivers in front had a big crash, giving me two very needed positions. And within a few laps, the battling began to intensify, and I started to make up some ground, making sure that I was capitalizing off any mistakes any of the drivers in front were making. Then getting a great run on the driver in front going into the back straight.
Getting walked on the straights. This is not even fair.
This recovery race was becoming really painful, but even with the drivers in front battling as hard as they possibly could, I made sure that I was not giving them a breath of fresh air. It was absolutely time for fighting. And before long, there was another crash with two karts piled up down into the back corner. I nearly made that free karts because it caught me very off guard, and that corner is so ridiculously slippery. Then finally ready to capitalize off the driver in front, making a huge mistake down into the back corner, but then getting absolutely flown by on the straights by him and the driver behind. But luckily for me, the driver in front made a huge mistake.
That was impressive!
And at this point, I am counting down the laps for this to end because this is just so painful. And at this point, it started to feel like a horror movie because everywhere I looked, it was jump scare after jump scare of people just flying past me. But on the bright side, this race was just about over, and that's all I had been wishing for since it had basically started. With still the feature to come, and starting in P2, things can still go up from here. But we can move on and we can go into the feature race looking hopefully pretty positive. Even though there weren't many positives to look at, coming out of this race gaining positions with a pretty terrible kart has to mean that I still have some pace, and let's see if we can bring that to the feature race.
Well, this kart sucks.
But forgetting that, it's time for the feature race.
Alright, in front of me, we've got my best friend, and it's pretty dang fast. This isn't going to be easy.
Coming around the final corner to start this race, behind the safety kart. Let's do this. Green, 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 let's go! This first lap was one of the best karting battles I've ever had, so I'm gonna let you watch it in peace. As we had a crazy close battle through the first entire full lap. That was so much fun, but here's where things all went wrong. As I took a defensive line here and got pushed out wide, losing 2 positions on the second lap. And already seeing people with much faster karts absolutely storm by me. This kart is by no means as bad as the kart I had in the previous race, but it still definitely wasn't fast by any means. And you can definitely start to see this kart's issues on the back straight. Unlike my previous kart that had an issue with low and top speed, this kart just had an issue with the top speed, making me a sitting duck for the end of the back straight. But with a long race to go and the possibilities still endless, giving up was never an option. But going into this next corner, I made my first and biggest mistake of the weekend, outbraking myself and going very deep into this slippery corner. Very disappointed with myself, but luckily within 2 laps able to make up another position. And before long, I caught up to my friend who started this race in pole position and was really struggling himself. Caught up to him in the middle of him getting overtaken and pushed into the grass. Because of that affecting his line and speed, it put me in a great position to make a move on him myself. And as you'd seen before, we've got a history of racing pretty hard and pushing each other right to that limit. As I took a very tight line going through the next corner, getting up the inside, thinking I've got this move done and dusted, here he comes back up the outside. Making it very close going into the corner off the back straight. Then all of a sudden he brakes a little bit harder than I expected, leading to a little bit of contact, throwing him off guard and putting me in a position to maybe overtake. As we start taking robbing his racing very literally here, I finally completed the move. And within another 2 laps catching up to the driver in front, and this led to a crazy battle that went for over a full lap. I'm going to let you watch this battle uninterrupted. This was absolutely insane.
That's more like it!
But of course, all good things must come to an end. The next lap, someone has a good enough run on the back straight to go up the inside, allowing the kart that I just spent 2 laps overtaking to overtake me again. As we moved on to the next lap, I get absolutely stormed past by 2 drivers on the inside and outside. Absolutely diabolical. But luckily for me, somehow I was still able to hold one of these 2 drivers off, which was good enough for me. And within another lap, I'm back to fighting this guy in orange. And this time, I was the one to have just a good enough run to make a move on the back straight. Coming up to this corner side by side, this is gonna be sketchy. But it was time to get this move done once and for all, and just before the final lap of the race. bringing home a P6 finish. If you made it this far into the video, I just want to say a huge thank you. I appreciate all the support, and if you enjoy videos like this, remember to hit that subscribe button, and with that, we'll see you in the next one. Peace. I know, I was getting walked on the straights and then just gone.